said they don't see any evidence of a hack. So their policy is that
Because
they
they
won't
don't see
restore them,
evidence.
but they can because they have a cloud for 2 weeks, man. And it's just a matter of 1, 2. You know they can do it, and you know, I'm willing to pay if I have to pay. You know what I mean? But bro, it's just such good. I mean, but anyway, I was trying to say this. No,
Yeah.
Goose. I was talking to Goose, and I was like, Goose, my reservation about the vaxes, this is pre-show, is the fact that they have to keep it at a certain temperature. And Goose was like, well, you know, he was like, well, you know, Brother Mills, he was like, you know, because he's a scientist. He was like, well, you know, there's people, he's like, and I sign off on it. And he just assured me, he's like, there's somebody in charge that's taking it very seriously. And I don't know if he knew that literally it's you. I feel a lot better. I mean, I just had this conversation with him like last week, you know what I mean? And he was like, nah, man. He's like, there's scientists. He's like, there's going to be people in place, systems in place to make sure that, you know, the virus is at least going to maintain a certain temperature. And it's great hearing you talk about that, talking to the person in charge of it.
Vaccine, not the virus.
Yeah, the vaccine. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Thanks, Self. Yeah. All right. So so big ups to Goose on that. I want to hit you with some quick hits, man, before we wrap it up. But before we do that, can you recommend a book for the Self Love Nation?
It won't be in, you know, this particular space. I got to think of, there's one of my mentors, and she just wrote a book, and I got the first part of the name. It's called Unapologetically.
Do you know her name? Maybe we can Google it. Self, can you ask Siri?
It's Shelley Archambault.
Shelley Archambault.
Yeah, mute your thing and ask Siri, and then give them some of the title, and Siri will find it.
Yep.
What's some of the title, Brother Mac?
Unapologetically is like a 2. But if you put that in and you put in,
it should come up. Yeah,
it should come up.
And what's the book about?
It's about how to be able to navigate your career, your life, networking, all the things that we're talking about and coming up. But Shelley is similar to, type of career. She spent years at IBM. Mm-hmm. She ended up being the CEO for one of the compliance companies called MetroStream. She was also there at Blockbuster at one point and tried to tell them they needed to go digital, and they did.
They didn't listen.
But she's now on either Verizon, on Nordstrom. I mean, she's on board, so she is at that level. Sharp sister.
Did she know the brother that created the internet at IBM? You know, the mathematician? I can't think of his name. How old is she about? I mean, I don't want to put her age, but is she like...
No. She's...
she's senior, one of our elders, or...
Yeah, she's like in her... she's in probably early 60s, if in that range.
She might have worked with him, though. It's a brother, man, that gets credit for... I was going to run a video, but, you know...
What are you talking about? You're not talking about Kappa brother. Are you talking about Rob?
No. He's talking about a Nigerian that, you know...
that guy wasn't Nigerian.
He wasn't?
No, he was born in Michigan. Well, his parents might have... hold on, let me find it.
So...
that road... What, man? Unapologetically ambitious.
Yep, that's the book.
Take risks, break barriers, and create.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my book right now that I recommend and want, you know, at least people coming up and getting an understanding. She talks about how to make sure that she takes every opportunity from a communications, networking, and asking the questions and answering, you know, some of the tough areas. So Shelley would be, and her book just came out, I want to say a few months ago. So big up to her.
You would have told your 9-year-old self to read that book.
Yes, that would be what I would tell my 9-year-old self.
Yeah, because it sounds like what you were saying. Okay.
Yeah, she was one of the first female African-American CEOs in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, she knows this brother, man. I didn't think he was Nigerian, Tori. Well, I took it off of the thing because we weren't going to play it and I didn't want to confuse it, but
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
find it. It's going to bug me. Okay, give us a black-owned restaurant. It doesn't have to be in Chicago. It could be in Boston area or where you
Man,
are.
let's see. There's most recent here in Dallas is
Yeah.
Lola. So that's like I get my catfish and get my food on. Back there in Chicago, I got to do our shout out to go to Tori's always making the run, and Charlie to the brothers, the Caribbean.
Yeah, on 47th, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's opened up a new one on out south, I think. I saw
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think I saw that too. In the south suburbs, maybe?
Yeah, almost. Yeah, south, like maybe 140 something. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, big ups. What's the name of his spot, Self?
Caribbean jerk spot.
Yep.
There it is, Caribbean Jerk, y'all. That's on 47th. And then the other one you said is Lola's, and that's in Dallas. Is that Southern Cooking, aka Soul Food?
It is soul food.
All right. There's a distinction, people. They're stealing all of our culture. Letting these pink people steal everything. Hey, I saw you in the congressional testimony, and we put that up there. And I just want to ask you one question. What was more difficult for you, your interview for the Greater Beta chapter, or sitting there and answering the questions for Congress?
So the Congress piece, what made it surreal was when you come in with everybody with our kind of scripted piece of what I wanted to communicate, and then I have to build upon that. So that part, but when you sat there and they asked you to stand and raise your hand and swear you in, that's when it was like,
real.
This is real.
Yeah. People have gone to jail for speaking nonsense.
When I had to do that, you got sworn in.
I got you.
You never, yeah. I mean, I had been in those same halls in a smaller setting when you were testifying. And once you were being sworn in, that was the consequences was worse than answering for Greater Beta and doing an interview.
Well, you just gave me a good idea if I could go back in time. You're going to give a testimony. It's not going to be an interview. You just give a testimony, and we've done our investigation. And you know what? Everything better be true. Everything better be true. Let them talk, Tori. But I saw, you got pretty, they were looking for you. They were, the Congress, they were looking for you. Like they trusted the information coming from you. And I felt like, and this is me talking to everybody, I felt like the people you were there with, they were like, not riding your coattails, but okay. Like they needed you there. Like
underlings, they were like cowering down every question. Mike was like, I'll take that. I'll start with that.
There we go.
As usual, to make sure everybody knows everything that's going down and how it's going down.
Hey,
boss,
bro, and he buttered him up. He buttered him up. He was like, "We're working with our partners at the FDA," and he's like, "Yeah, we sit here and we hear nonsense all day, but somebody finally came here and said something good." You know what I mean? So a lot of that Chicago South Side, I saw it. I saw a lot of that. Yeah, I saw it, bro. I saw it.
Yes, it was.
And the suit.
If we can't bring that swagger and that positioning, then why do you need me there?
Right. Why am I here?
Why am I
not
here?
About to sit here and be a part of this. Right. I got you.
Hey, on the side note, and I digress.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
I really thought that Brother Daniels was talking about my suit.
He probably was talking about your suit. We're going to clarify that with Brother Daniels. I think he was, bro. Hey, Luke, that moves us into the quick hits. All right. So we're there. And then, first, before we do the quick hits, is there anything you want to discuss that we haven't, covered? Anything that you wanted to mention or anything you had for us, that we didn't cover?
I mean, again, I think that this is not something that has to be overcomplicated. There is a level of, of understanding and expertise, but my goal has always been, and then again, this kind of goes back to the South Side and the upbringing. I got to be able to articulate and communicate to reach out to everyone. And no one, the worst thing that a person can do is to get enamored with the technology and the jargon, and because then you just lose everybody, and then there's totally no appreciation for what it is that you're trying to communicate or the message you're trying to get across. So that's just for me to reemphasize that this has been a very good dialogue to talk about a topic like this and how people get into it, how people can evolve, what would be some of the next steps. Really appreciate that, and with Self Love. So you guys, big ups, keep it going. So
appreciate that, Noop. Yeah,
thank you so much.
We had a brother, I'm not going to mention his name, but he told me, he works for major companies as well, and marketing and stuff. And he said that he had to show them. He would be there, and his company. He basically had to show them, basically what you said. We have to be able to move, with certain types of people to organically get our message out there. It's like Self Love. We tell 12, the police, like, y'all need us to, if y'all are truly trying to stop crime, y'all need us.
Because frankly, criminals move ahead of the law, period. They move ahead of the law. So,
and they need people in the community. But if you're going to be a tyrant, nobody's going to help you.
Right.
Right. They always say black people don't talk to the police because you're a tyrant. You've been a tyrant. You know what I mean? You've been a tyrant. Nobody's going to talk to you. Self Love said he wouldn't even tell his daughter to call the police if she was lost when she was a little girl. Go to that's sad, bro. That's sad. So that's something as a society, we're big on here. But to the quick hits. Quick hits. Have you ever seen a UFO?
No.
Have you ever seen an alien?
No.
Have you ever seen anything supernatural?
Questionable. I could say yes.
Okay. Is there a God, supreme God?
Yes.
All right. You gave us your favorite restaurant. You gave us your book. All right. Any big ups? You gave me in Self Love a big ups, but did you have any other big ups or acknowledgments that you want to give before you go?
Yeah, the when we didn't hit on it, but my foundation that I talked about, from parents and activities, but when you talk about, there's not a task that I've done after we left the yard that wasn't part of that foundation. So, running a sweetheart court and being a dean of a line and running Kappa Carnival and all of that.
Running stuff.
And
Yeah.
so that was what became just natural as you progress, because I used that from a foundation. So when I had to run, a 501c3 with the National Black MBA, well, that was probably, just about a $500,000,
just like Marlon, don't
he? Yeah. Did all of the same activities.
Yeah.
We had a ball, we had a scholarship.
Yeah.
We did a golf outing. We had a new food. So you
had to deal with different personalities. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
So all of that is a part of it. So that's my other, kind of big ups here, is that even though it's always part of my DNA, the frat allowed it to
cultivate it.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's and he's being modest about, those cats and, things they did for the Greater Beta chapter, and I just don't want to say too much on a, public forum, but big ups to Cap Ship Confusion Conquerors, you know what I mean? Because for a lot of you cats, Greater Beta is, a lot of you cats know it. You can give it up to these brothers, you know what I mean? Now, that's not taking nothing away from the brothers before them at all, but I'm just saying, the iteration of most of us our age, and when y'all came up on that, you can give it up to these guys. So hey, that house, all that, a lot of